Hello and Merry Christmas. But today we will be looking at lots of severe weather across the US with a potential tornado outbreak about to happen. But first, if we look at the severe weather map for Thursday, you can see that we're currently looking at a bunch of severe weather in the mid south, and then we're having a low tornado chance over here, and then an elevated tornado risk over here in Texas and Louisiana, with also a flash flood risk over here in the northwest. But then if we dive down into the tornado risk, you can see that we have a bunch of tornado risk all across these areas. But then we're really looking at it over here in Texas, where we will most likely have a developed supercell causing a tornado outbreak here, and then a tiny supercell with one or two tornadoes over here. But then by Friday, we're looking at this storm weakening down, moving into Louisiana with potential tornadoistic weather, but we're most likely only looking at problematic weather. Then, if we look at the radar for the south, you can see that by 2 p.m. tomorrow, the storms first start to develop, where we'll be having heavy wind shear pushing into the tornadoes and circular rotations by the storm, most likely, which is perfect conditions for tornadoes, which is already posing a huge problem. But then, going later on, by 4 p.m., this just moves out to Arkansas, and then we have a small storm forming out here. But then, if we zoom in by Texas, you can see that we have this perfect conditions for tornadoes with this circular rotation of wind, making it having a very high risk to form tornadoes by 5. And then the storm just moves out by 9 p.m. We have a very high risk with many supercells spread across Louisiana and even possibly Arkansas. But then, if we stop yapping about the weather in the south, you can see that we're currently looking at a snowstorm in the northwest and a bunch of scattered rain over here in the mid US. And then going through the night, we will eventually have some snowstorms by tomorrow. And then by tomorrow night, we're looking at our severe storms forming over here by Texas, where we'll have those tornadoes with our giant low pressure system. And then if we keep going, it moves over to Alabama by Friday morning with our giant snowstorm in the northwest still. And then if we keep going, this just becomes a bunch of scattered rain across much of the US, bringing in lots of warm air by Saturday. But then we're going to have a very severe storm by Saturday night, causing lots of severe weather, especially during Sunday morning. It'll be a huge problem by Tennessee, but then it starts to dissolve by Sunday night, even though we will have some very severe storms down here by Tampa Bay and some severe snowstorms over here in the northwest. Then finally, looking at our temperature map compared to our average temperatures, we are currently in a heat wave with lots of warm temperatures all across the eastern US, except we will have a few cold temperatures all throughout here in the western US.